everyone, this is Shakeena Melbourne, the founder of Upton Law PLLC. In my last video, we covered some of the basics about bankruptcy. Today, I'm back to dive in even more with common questions people have considered when they were considering bankruptcy. Let's clear up some of the concerns and help you better understand the process. Let's get right into it. You know, a lot of people ask this question regarding when should they pay their bills or stop paying their bills, and honestly, can they afford an attorney when they're considering bankruptcy? My best answer to that question is look at it from this point of view. If you owe or pay out in a month, let's say it's $2,000 that you pay out towards your credit cards, personal loans, because you want to make sure you're keeping your credit score up, and when you're making these payments, though, it's such a financial burden on you. If you're considering filing bankruptcy, one of the first things you should do is stop paying those debts that you owe. Well, what does that mean if you stop paying it? If you stop paying it, you now have an extra $2,000 in your pocket for that month. If you stop paying it, let's say today, 30 days from now, you have an extra $2,000 in your pocket. 60 days from now, you have an additional $4,000 in your pocket. 90 days from now, you have an additional $6,000 in your pocket. If you had $6,000 in your pocket, do you think you can afford the bankruptcy attorney at that point? Yes. It's very likely that you would be able to use the funds that you would be paying these debts off with to pay the attorney when you're considering filing bankruptcy. But you have to be serious about filing bankruptcy before you should stop paying those bills. So if you say, I finally made that final financial decision and I am going to file bankruptcy, and I'm looking to file bankruptcy in the next 2 months, then you have 2 months of non-payment towards those debts, and you have 2 months of funds set aside that you can now pay that attorney. And by you not paying those debts, sure, you're going to have a delinquency on that side, but once you file bankruptcy, the delinquency goes away. So do you understand? I'm trying to get you to see that when you do file, it's going to be okay, and you're truly going to get that financial fresh start. Similar to what I was saying before, if you don't pay your credit cards or personal loans for 2 months or 3 months, and you're going to use those funds to pay the attorney's fees, well, that concept of the 2 to 3 months actually correlates with when your vehicle would be taken from you. Typically, a car company or a finance company wait up to 3 months of non-payment before they will attempt to repossess the car. I like to say typical because you know in the law, the answer is always it depends, right? Each car company has different rules and regulations. However, it's usually about 3 months of non-payment when they will start considering repossessing the vehicle. So the concept is true. If you wait 2 months and then make a payment on your car note, you might be safe. But if you wait 3 months or more to not make any payments, then the repo company can come out and get that vehicle. That's also a good time. You were already considering, should I file bankruptcy? What are my best financial options? Well, you might want to look into filing bankruptcy in 2 months or 3 months before the vehicle get repossessed. Now, there are some rules in the bankruptcy laws that allow you, after a vehicle is repossessed, that you may be able to get that vehicle back, but it's only maybe, because that's only if the finance company didn't already sell the vehicle, auction it, or move that vehicle to a whole new state, and now the vehicle is not able to be found or not easily able to be found. You may not get that vehicle back after you file bankruptcy. So you should consider, when you're filing bankruptcy or looking at your financial situation, you're looking at 2 months out. Will I be okay in 2 months? If I'm not, perhaps I may be looking at filing sooner than I thought. Now, I know, taxes is a love-hate relationship for some of us, right? You've seen on social media and the news, celebrities is fighting. They don't owe money. They owe the money. They trying to appeal the money of how much they owe taxes, right? The truth of the matter is, it's something we have to live with. Well, as part of bankruptcy, it's a federal relief from your credit. Now, it's a federal relief. That means the government is giving you this option. That means you can't not, that's a double negative. You owe taxes, you got to file taxes, you got to pay taxes. So the government isn't going to say, oh yeah, you can get rid of all these other debts, but by the way, you don't have to file your taxes even if you believe you owe. No. In bankruptcy, you have, whether that's a Chapter 7 or a Chapter 13, you have to have your taxes filed. For a Chapter 7, you're looking at the last 2 years of taxes for the years prior to you filing must be filed with IRS. And the same thing, in a Chapter 13, they're looking at the last 4 years must be filed. If your taxes are not filed, this can be a complication to your bankruptcy case. Now, believe it or not, just because you owe taxes does not stop you from being able to file bankruptcy. There are bankruptcy laws that are still going to be able to help you even if you owe taxes. So for example, in a Chapter 7 case, the bankruptcy court does permit some rules and exceptions on years of taxes that you might owe money to. The IRS can either do a compromise with you, or in some instances, these tax years can actually be discharged in your Chapter 7 bankruptcy. And that's usually taxes that you owe from 5 years ago or more. In a Chapter 13 case, because you are going to be making payments to your creditors, you can actually add your debt that you owe in taxes to your Chapter 13 case and be able to pay those off in full. You see, financial fresh start to help you get back on your feet, whether that's private debt, credit cards are considered private debt, personal loans, outstanding utility bills, outstanding and old phone bills, right? And then you have non-private or public debts, right? Which is like your taxes. And there's still room for you to still get a financial fresh start even when it comes to taxes. But you know, as a lawyer, I always got to tell you, disclaimer, you need to talk to a bankruptcy attorney because everyone's situation is different. Even though we all look like financial struggle is all the same, it might be. It may feel that way, but your actual financial situation is different. And I would suggest that you contact an attorney, even if it's me, and make sure that your financial situation, you get the right answers for. Now, I know I keep saying now, don't judge me. Okay, so here we have a situation because people always wonder, well, when is a good time to file bankruptcy? Yeah, I brought up earlier 2 months, 3 months of non-payment of bills, but that's likely if you had a job, right? And you just simply couldn't afford to pay. Well, what happens if you lose your job or you're on unemployment? Can you file bankruptcy? And the answer to that question is yes, because believe it or not, once your income drops, that doesn't change your expenses. That did not change how much your rent was. That did not change how much your car note was, or your car insurance, or how to eat, or none of that. And in some instances, it can take up to 2 months before you get the unemployment money. This is specifically a reason or a good reason for you to consider filing bankruptcy while you are unemployed, because then you get rid of several of these debts that you owe while your income is low. So when your income go back up, you ain't got to worry about the same bills you had before your income went down. You see what I'm saying? Financial fresh start. I hope you liked the video. Thanks for watching. Please remember to like, subscribe, and comment below. Talk to you soon.